Hello friends, I welcome you in the series of lecture history. My name Rakesh Kumar Thakur. This is the contact number which you can use in emergency whenever you need a help. Academy Edu School of Computational Mathematics is a school in which we take admission class 6 for 12th. It's a boarding school. Here we do the research oriented work for computational mathematics, and we take admission only to those students who they are interested in mathematics and computer. This school is different from the other private and government school. How? Here we give you training for the future technology, and we assure you that after 12th from our school you will get the placement. Right, so this is the aim, to open our school to provide India a good future technology, because we are very lagging in technology for everything like army weapon and most of the technology we depend on other countries. So this is the aim behind opening this school. So this is the chapter of GS. Here we will deal history. I will tell you that please take your seat and take a pen and pencil and a copy and try to write each and everything. Don't just watch the lecture and think, okay, I will memorize it. Learn it like I teach here. In the way I teach here, similarly you will write it in your notebook. Okay, so please take your pen and pencil. Let's start. In the history, there is a division of time. So let's start with first how to divide the time. Have you seen which calendar we are using? January, February, this calendar now. So what is the name of this calendar? We are using Gregorian calendar. Gregorian calendar, right? So Gregorian calendar, and there is a other calendar which is called Saka calendar. These calendar are our national calendar. National calendar, right? So first thing is this one. Second, how we divide time in a Gregorian calendar. So see here. Let's take this coordinate system, and suppose this is the point of the birth of Jesus Christ. This point, birth Christ, right? So from this point, if we take, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. Similarly, we are here in 2020. So this is called AD. AD is Anno Dominic. Anno, AD stand for Anno Dominic. Many of students thinks that this AD stand for after death. No, it's Anno Dominic. And here 1, 2, 3, 4, similarly 600, 700, right? So these are BC, and this one is before Christ. Before Christ, right? So time will start from here, right? One thing need to see here, like if I say 700 BC, and 600 BC, which is a new time? 600 BC is a new time, 700 BC is a old time, because time start here. They will see first comes 700, then comes 600 BC, then 400 BC, 4 BC, 3 BC, 2 BC, 1 BC. Now we will, after this point, we will move to the AD. So 1 AD is the new time, 2 AD is 1 AD is the old time, 2 AD is the new time, then 3 is the more new than 2. So in AD, what happened? Suppose 700, 600, I say BC, and I say 700, 600 AD. So in BC, this time is older and this is a new. This comes first and this comes later. But in AD, what happens? This is an old time, this is a new time, right? This is need to be aware. We need to aware of that. Now move to our lecture. One thing more, how we come to know about the time. So to determine the time, we have two methods. One is called radiocarbon dating by using isotope of carbon-14. Carbon-14 is a type of carbon. So we use this technology to determine the date. And there is another method. See, if you saw the large trees, so what happened? Every year in their stem, it forms a ring, right? Every year. So if we count this ring, these rings are called secondary ring. Secondary rings. So if you count these secondary rings, you will come to know that how old this plant is. And this method is called dendrology, right? Generally in history we use radiocarbon dating. In science we use dendrology. But here in history, most of the time we use radiocarbon dating. Now let's move to the chapter. See, history is divided in three parts: ancient history, medieval history, and modern history, which is also called contemporary history. Contemporary means the people who are living in the same time, like you, we, I, and everyone are living in the same time. So we are contemporary to each other, right? Now, ancient history is divided between Stone Age to 712 AD. Stone Age were the time when there were only stones on the earth, right? Up to from there to 712 AD is the ancient history. After 712 AD, we take medieval history. So why? What happened at 712 AD? And we started to take it as a medieval history. So what happened in 712 AD? First time Muslim attacked on India, and that name of that person was Muhammad bin Qasim. This person attacked on Sindh. And after that, see what happened. Here in Stone Age to 712 AD, here we see in India there was the Hindu rulers, right? After 712 AD, the first attack by bin Qasim, there is a starting of the Muslim attacker on India. They continuously attacked on India. So after 712 AD, many Muslims attacker came, they attacked India, looted India, but they didn't able to make their kingdom. But at 1206 AD, what happened? There was a person named Muhammad Ghori. So when he died in a conquest, his slave means a servant for which you don't need to pay, right? So his slave started a dynasty which is called slave dynasty, and there were the starting of Delhi Sultanate. So 1206 AD to 1526 AD, we studied Delhi Sultanate, right? And this was established by Delhi Sultanate was first established by Qutbuddin Aibak. after that, the slave dynasty which he started, there were a number of rulers came, attacked on India, because India was that time was very rich. It was the golden time of the India when it was in 600 to 700 AD, 600 BC to 700 AD. It was the golden time for the India, and India were very rich at that time. So after 1526, what happened? There was in 1526 AD, first battle of Panipat. Here what happened? A ruler from Delhi Sultanate called Ibrahim Lodi. So he was ruler of Delhi at that time. This person was attacked by another person called Babur, who came from Fargana. Babur came from Fargana and attacked on Ibrahim Lodi. There were some circumstances why he attacked on Ibrahim Lodi. There is a story behind it. We will discuss it. For the time being, this Babur attacked Ibrahim Lodi in Panipat, and it was the first battle of Panipat. And from there, this person Ibrahim Lodi lose the battle, and this person Babur won the battle. After winning the battle, he established in 1526 Delhi Sultanate. Not Delhi Sultanate, sorry, it's a Mughal Empire. And from 1526 to 1707, there were the mighty Mughals are ruling in India, and it was the Mughal Empire. After 1707, we take it the modern history. Now, what happened at 1707 and the time was fully changed? It a change of era. See, here what we have seen 1712 to 1700, 712 to 1707, 712 to 1707 AD. It was the time of Muslim rulers. Right? Now, here there is a modern history after 1707. Why? In 1707, the mightiest king of Mughal Empire, Aurangzeb, died. Right? So after death of the Aurangzeb, British become more stronger and they established totally the British Empire in India. Right? So it was the time of arrival of British. So from 1707 to, see what I said, in 1707 they lose their ground in India. It means that it doesn't mean that the king, Mughal king, all Mughal king died. No, the last Mughal king died in 1857 when we will learn the first Sipahi mutiny, right? So at that time, but the mightiest king died here in 1707. After that, this Aurangzeb, there were no any mightiest king. They all the king after him, all are very they were not strong, and they were totally became the servant of British, right? They were totally become the servant of British. So it's 1900 up to 1947 we will learn. This time will is called modern history and contemporary history, right? And so what we will see here, this is the time of Hindu ruler, this is the time of medieval, is the time of Muslim ruler, and this one is the time of British, we can say Christian Empire, right? So this is how we divide history. Suppose if your interview asks you, give me a glimpse of history. So if you will able to draw this map at that time and able to say about these things, that is enough, and that person will come to know that, yeah, this boy know the things, right? Let's move to the chapter now in ancient history. We will learn here first ancient history, then medieval history, and then modern history. So let's move to the ancient history. Please note this thing. Now pause the video and note everything. See, Stone Age is further divided into Paleolithic Age, Mesolithic Age and Neolithic Age. Lith means is what? Lith means stone. So when Paleolithic, Mesolithic and Neolithic time, in this time the people were generally residing near a water resource, means on the bank of some river and pond. So there must be a water resource, right? We will start with Paleolithic Age. Let's start. Now the first point here, who is the father of history? Who was that person who first started to write history? This person, Herodotus, and due to this Herodotus, the subject become history. Now we have the first thing, Paleolithic Age. From 2 million years ago, from today, 2 million years ago to 12,000 years ago, it was the time of Paleolithic Age. It was excavated by, how we came to know about the Paleolithic Age? So it was excavated. In history, see, in science what we do, discovery, but in history we excavate something. Excavate means to dig out the things, right, from the layer of soil. So excavated by Robert Brucefoot in 1986. Human were food. Now see, in Paleolithic Age, human were food gatherer. Means they were not this time aware of how to do hunting. Maybe they don't have weapon at that time, and they were not aware of agriculture at that time. So generally what they are trying to do that time, they gathered the food and shipped themselves. After gathering food, they shipped to some another place, and this was their economy, how they living their life. After some time, they started hunting a small animal because they developed a small tool by using a rough stone called hand axe. So they developed the first implement means weapon, which is called hand axe. It is important, and this one is come in exam. The first implement developed by the human was hand axe. Then this one is very important, 7th point. Fire was discovered in middle of this age. Fire was discovered in the middle of the Paleolithic Age, right? Now, how we got this information? We got these evidences from a cave in Bhimbetka, Madhya Pradesh. So, beginning of the cave painting, they started to do cave painting. See, can you see this figure? See here, what they are making on the stone, on the red stone. We found this type of painting, rock painting at Bhimbetka cave in Madhya Pradesh. So we got the evidence of Paleolithic Age from the Bhimbetka cave of Madhya Pradesh, and it was excavated by Robert Brucefoot, right? So main thing from Paleolithic Age, there is a discovery of first weapon, hand axe. Second, discovery of fire. Third, they started doing cave paintings, and we got the evidence from Bhimbetka cave of Madhya Pradesh. This was the Paleolithic Age. Move to the next thing. It's a Mesolithic Age. So Mesolithic Age was the time between 12,000 to 10,000 years ago from today, you can say. Now, in Mesolithic Age, what human was trying to do, they started to make microlith, means tiny stone weapon, and stuck with bone is used. Means suppose this is a weapon, so started to implement a handle inside it, right? So they started to use a handle in their weapon. They started to use bow and arrow. This is very important point. In Mesolithic Age, they started to use bow and arrow, and from this time they become food gatherer to hunter. So in the Mesolithic Age, their main occupation, how they get their food, by hunting. They became the hunter. Sometimes they do food gathering also, but main thing was they were food hunter here. So these 2 points are very important. Now they make a fleck in this age. Fleck is like a boomerang which was used by Mowgli, boomerang, which if you try to strike somewhere, it will go and return to you. So it's a boomerang, and it is called that time fleck. So it was the fleck culture, fleck culture, right? So this question came many times. Which of the following ages is called Mesolithic age? So it was the flake culture. It was the Mesolithic age which was called flake culture. Mesolithic age was called flake culture. Now, beginning of the cook folk, people start to do cooking, right? Then they started, see, they have cooked food. So what they need? They need some pottery, some utensil to put their food. So they started to make handmade soil potteries. Handmade soil potteries. They started to make the handmade soil potteries, but these potteries are uneven. Not like we see in the modern time. If you see the soil pottery of the modern time, it is very symmetric, very circular. Why? Because now we are using to make them wheel, right? So they started to make hand potteries and beginning of animal husbandry. So from the Mesolithic age, what they can ask you: first, bow and arrow; second, hunting; third, flag culture, right? And cooked food. These things are very important. Other points are important, but these 3 points are very important. Now move to the Neolithic age. Neo means new. So what happened in Neolithic age? People become very used to do very much struggle to hunt an animal. So they started to agriculture. So it was the beginning of agriculture. This is a very important point. So if you are doing agriculture and sowing seeds here, suppose, so you need to care it from or save it from the animal, browsing animal. So what the person started to do, people, nomadic people at that time started to do, they started to move their hut here and started to live in this hut to save their field. So this was the starting of beginning of permanent settlement. Means they were initially nomadic, means they hunt there, gather food here, move to the new place. But due to the agriculture, they started to live in a particular area, and that was the starting of permanent settlement for the human being. So this is also very important. From where we got the evidence of agriculture and permanent settlement? We got the evidence of agriculture and permanent settlement from the Mehergarh, Pakistan. This Mehergarh is a area around Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. So from this area, Mehergarh, Pakistan, we got the evidence of agriculture and human settlement. So what we got evidence? We found there plowed field. We found there plowed field of this age, right? Now, next, the first crop raised by human being, very important, was wheat. In many books, you will find that the first crop raised by human being was barley, but this is a wrong answer. Why this is a wrong answer? Because NCERT say wheat. So if NCERT say wheat, we need to write wheat. So wheat was the first crop raised by human being, right? Now, they were using soil pottery. You know, they started to make soil pottery in Mesolithic age. So here, they invented wheel to make symmetrical potteries. So initially what happened, this wheel were used to make potteries, right? So wheel was invented. So this is also very important point. Invention of wheel entirely changed the human life. Now beginning of wheel and wheel-made pottery, they started to make wheel-made potteries. Implement were polished. At this time, their implement are very sharp, means weapon. Implements means weapon were very sharp, long in length, so that they can throw it to a long distance, like a spear. A spear, you know, spear, na? A spear is a weapon. Sometimes it is called bhala in India. Mortar and pestle were used. You know what is the mortar and pestle? You use in your kitchen to crush adrak, garlic, garlic and other thing, like you will see it is in kitchen. So that the mortar and pestle they started to use in Neolithic age. Kauri found from Red Sea. Initially, kauri were considered as the coins. So this kauri we get from the Red Sea. Shells from the Mediterranean Sea. We get the shells from Mediterranean Sea. You can find the location of the Mediterranean Sea in a map. So at this time, I must say, please purchase 3 map. First, Indian political map. We need it. Indian. You can purchase a map book also. You can purchase a map book or separate map, right? Map book means atlas. You can purchase an atlas from the market. So Indian, we need Indian political map. We need Indian geographical map, which is called physical map. Physical map, and we need a world political and physical map. So either purchase this 4 map separately, a large size map, or you can purchase an atlas, right? It will very helpful to study about this thing. So today we learned how history started. We differentiated history in 3 parts, and we learned up to Neolithic age. From the next video, we will study after Neolithic age, starting of IVC. So we will start IVC in the new lecture. Thank you for the watching video.